Hey YouTubers, Alien 2000 49655 here. Sorry I haven't been doing much in the way of posting lately, but I thought this was pretty cool. Some of you may or may not have seen Ectosage's pitch black room with the pistons and the swirling lights on it. Well, here's my own version of it. This one uses, well, the only moving parts are the lights themselves, and they're not even attached to anything. Taking a look at this machine, I guess you could gather how this works, but I use the Alt-Shift F12 to get this, you know. Yeah, let me pan the camera so you can get a better shot. Better shot. And then I decided to start playing with gravity fields ever since the spherical generator update came out. And what I came up with was 4 grav gens on the bottom in a 4 points cardinal direction type setup. Those little white spheroid things. I know this camera doesn't have the greatest quality. Thrusters to help keep this thing stationary. And 4 grav gens up here. Now their fields are not quite touching. They're set to 0.10 field height at about, well, let's take a look here. Whoops. Let me get into the seat. Okay, go around to the front and I'll show you how everything's set up. These little grav gens up here are what's giving me the slight swirling effect, and I'll show you how those are set up as well. Anybody that knows how to work the controls of a standard gravity generator can do this. So we'll bring this up. The up and down ones are the bob. That's what's given them their slight up and down. The field width is 15. Field height is 15. This says 16, but it's supposed to be 15. Field depth is 15. And the acceleration is positive 0.10. That's all 8 of the bob, the ones labeled under the group bob, and that means bob up and down like this. Now the swirl using 0.05 positive gravity, 20 meters on depth, 10 on height, and 10 on width. This is so in case you want to put this attraction in your base, the gravity fields won't reach out so far that it interferes with other things in your base. And of course I've given it a beacon saying gravity experiment, and then there's a top and bottom lights in the chamber itself. So you set these up just like that. You can run this off of a single small reactor. Let me get out of the modding ghosts, phantoms. But I've chosen to run it off of 16 solar panels, which produces 1.9 megawatts. And I know what you're saying, the gravity generators eat too much power. How are you doing that? It's because I've dialed back their field strength and size. So I can literally run 12 grav gens off that one set of solar panels. These are set so that they pull that way, pull down in the normal setting. Like I said, 0.5. Their field has been shrunk. The depth has made it so that it will extend down to here to the bottom of the window. The width comes out this way, so it doesn't really matter. You may not get this exact effect, but this started out as a station, but I needed to point it at the sun to get optimal angle, so I put a gyro and some basic thrusters on it, and had to turn it from a station into a ship. And anyway, this is what we get. And if you want to know close up what those things are in there, here, let me pull up new small ship, plant that right there. You get yourself small reactor, cube, mass cube, control panel, and spotlights. You start by making sure that door for that reactor goes down towards the landing gear, because we're going to be deleting that landing gear later. So the next would be the mass cubes. Now, because I am not going to release this because it's not inside the chamber and it'll start whirling off into space, and I don't want to be lagged out. You take the control panel, plant it on top. It doesn't matter which way it faces as long as it's on top. Whoops. I wanted that. So I'm basically surrounding the little reactor on 5 sides. But it actually only looks like 4 because that control panel doesn't take up a lot of space. Now, let's clear this out. And now what that control panel does is allow you to change the color of the lights, and it allows you to turn off the mass blocks. But I just use them for the lights. See, I dial up the intensity. I dial up the radius. Actually, I think I just left them just as they were. Now, if I dialed up their intensity and increased their radius, they would probably come out a lot better. But one spotlight would be red, or whatever color you wish. I like the police red and blue, so I went with red and blue. And then this is what you have floating around in there. And I didn't bother taking off the control panels because it doesn't really affect the operation. But once you, what you do is you set down a small ship landing gear right on the deck inside there. There is an access door to get in there, but I would suggest turning both gravity fields off, both gravity groups off, and go in through that door right there. And you'd build what I just built on the outer platform. I've got 6 of them in there, but you could probably put as many as 8 to 10. But that's how you do that. And I don't think I'll be sharing this to the workshop, but I've pretty much shown you how it works. You feel free to pause, rewind this video so you can write down the GravGen settings. I think I've shown you this from every angle. Here, let me do another quick flyby. And the nice thing about this little ship is while you're being entertained, you're also being recharged. So this could be working in survival, although you will need uranium for each and every one of those little light pods. Or light jacks, as I like to call them. But yeah, you run the entire thing off of solar panels except for the little light things. Now, when they stop, or when they run out of fuel, you'll obviously see the mass cubes go dark, and they will cease to be affected by the gravity field. I would suggest turning off all gravity fields on the containment cell itself before refueling them, because as soon as you put fuel in them, they're going to start bouncing around again. And if you're in survival, one of those things conk you in the head and you're dead. So anyway, that's all the time I'm going to take for now. Catch you later.